After silver reached yet a new record high in overnight trading, is there room for it to continue to climb? Yes, there is, and it could happen very soon. I'll explain why in this video as we explore. Yes, the hint is the big problem that is still in the silver market that could cause prices to climb up. A lot of the problems that we have been seeing with the supply are plaguing the silver market persist, and that could cause the prices to climb even further from where they're at right now. In fact, some of the price movement that we're seeing in overnight trading has to do with what China has done. Some members of the community, and I looked it up, have been saying that that China is going to greatly restrict silver exports among some other metals like tungsten and antimony, and that is going to put supply strains in other areas of the market. Now, the LBMA is okay for now, but nonetheless, there's still other areas. I'm going to get into this a little bit deeper here in a moment, but Summit Metals, they're the place to go to check out to experience an excellent selection of products with silver and other metals like gold and platinum, but also their great customer service, fast shipping, and yes, they have other special services that they provide, and they also have the spot deal. So peruse their website, check it out, and elevate your wealth with Summit Metals. And speaking of dips, who knows what the price is going to be by the time you watch this video. Honestly, as I watch these numbers move in real time right now, silver is barely holding on to its end of trading day gains. In fact, right now it's just above $60.75, but it did go into negative territory. In fact, part of me thinks that we could see a correction before it goes back up again, but I think it'll happen again soon, much like what we saw in the past week when silver's price got absolutely crushed in one day. Massive drop in one day before recovering very quickly. We may see more times like that, and it could be happening even now as you watch this video. Who knows? But nonetheless, in that overnight trading, silver was 4 cents shy of $61 an ounce. But what we're looking at here, according to Maria Smirnova, managing partner at Sprott and senior portfolio manager and chief investment officer at Sprott Asset Management, is saying in this interview that silver's price momentum has been building for some time, but the key threshold was crossed in the early summer. I think the important date was in June when silver broke through $35 an ounce, she said. What has been building up to this point? First of all, in the past 7 years or so, we have been in a fundamental supply-demand deficit. In fact, if you look at mine supply over the past 10 years, it has declined around 80 million ounces. Now total supply is about 1 billion ounces. So it's a very small market. And when you say that we're losing supply over the last 10 years, that tells you we're not finding and building new silver mines. At the same time, Smirnova pointed out demand has been rising steadily. Industrial demand has been growing, and a lot of it has been due to electronics and solar panel and electric vehicles. Now we're talking about AI centers, data centers, all of these electronic and electricity type uses, and the use of electricity and AI, and all of that grows, we need more and more silver, and supply has just not kept up. So this has been building for several years. But there is some nuance to that as well, and I will say that there's been some silver deposits that have been shown. In Poland especially, there's a great promise that there for silver. But it's just a matter of doing test drills and core samples and the like, and doing more exploration in that area. Alaska and Nevada areas in the United States that we may see more silver mining, and in other states as well. And the reason why that is because China is restricting exports of silver. So that means the impetus to mine here stateside is growing. And especially since silver has been listed as a critical mineral. The most important thing to take away from that, as silver being a critical mineral like copper, is that means that they want to produce more of it in-house. The reason why those metals are listed in the critical minerals list is because of supply chain problems. Silver is in a supply chain problem, and that has been persisting, and this is why prices are likely still going to continue to go up. 2025 has been an amazing year, and June is when we saw silver break through $35 an ounce, and that was amazing. You heard me talk about it then, about how it was so important to see 35 and how it was so important to see 36 and stay there. Well, look what happened. It has just sprouted out, exploded beyond my expectations, that's for sure. So 2025, these are all three silver coins from 2025, the silver dollar series of, obviously this is the bullion silver eagle, this is the 2025 peace dollar, and that's the Morgan dollar. The only other dollars that were created in silver are the commemorative dollars. We won't count those right now, but I do have something here in this bag I'm going to show you later in the video. Stay tuned for that, because I got some good deals on this stuff, and it's in this bag, so stay tuned. I'll show you that. Now, to keep these things in perspective, I hinted at it in yesterday's video in my market report, but didn't get to it because I was so excited about silver breaching $60. And here we are, at least right now. It is possible we could see $61 before it goes back down. Who knows? Part of me thinks we may have topped out, at least for now. But the one thing, when you think about $61 silver, we'll round up that 4 cents. We are literally about $12 to $13 away from silver being an all-time high when adjusted for inflation. That puts everything in perspective, folks, that we're getting there with silver, especially with now, at least as I record this video, the gold to silver ratio below 70. That's pretty amazing. Now, the pushback to this bullish structural case for silver has been its high above ground inventories, but these also have been in steady decline, she says here. When we talk about stock exchange inventories, we talk about primarily London's LBMA, the COMEX in New York, Shanghai and China. Those inventories, as of a few years back, started declining, specifically in London. I reported on it many times on this channel. This year, what's happened is some of the metal was shipped from London to New York because of the fear of tariffs. At the same time, as ETFs have grown, they have reduced the available silver in London as well. So there's been a lot of a squeeze in London. But again, with a backdrop of deficits, there's not much new metal coming in. As for the short-term catalyst that drove silver to fresh all-time highs in recent weeks, Smirnova said it came from the other side of the demand equation. Silver is still half monetary metal, so it follows gold in the sense that when interest rates go down, and we talk about the Fed wanting to do QE again and reduce interest rates, that will drive both gold and silver up. We talk about the dollar going down again, and that's what's happening the last few days. Indeed, it has been down a little bit here the last few days, and the strength has fallen fairly notably in the last 6 months for the dollar. She added that the decline of digital assets is also boosting interest in precious metals. Bitcoin and the rest of them have been melting down recently. So there's a big realization that, hey, wait a minute, it's gold and silver that are monetary metals and real monetary assets. You know, I've not seen much evidence of that, but it would not surprise me if that was the case. And usually a lot of these people that get into Bitcoin, well, they want to get into something that's on the way up. And silver's on the way up right now, so it very well could be that some people are buying silver ETFs. And the trades are adding to it. And that likely will continue, especially if they see some potential there. Silver is a very small market, and if you think about 1 billion ounces, it's about $60 billion a year, and that we're making. It's nothing. And that doesn't take a lot to move the price of silver. Smirnova said the shift in the physical shortages from London to Shanghai is also significant, because while the investment demand may be centered in the UK and US, the metal is actually being consumed in China. China is a very important market, as I've told you many times. It's more important to look at solar because that's where the panels are being made. Solar consumes about 200 million ounces, or about 20% of supply. So if we're saying that China, that all the inventories are out, that's very significant because that's where the metal needs to go. Although I will say they have a surplus in production there. They're just now selling panels that were created in 2023. Smirnova said that ramping up investment demand is happening while the physical supplies are as thin and dislocated as they've been in many years. From January until now, we've had over 100 million ounces go into Western exchange-traded funds. At least that's what's being tracked. That's a big amount of silver. And if a big silver mine is between 10 to 20 million ounces of silver, there's not that many mines like that now. We've not had any new mines like that at all, really. In the last 10 years, we've lost 80 million ounces of supply from mining. That's a handful of big mines that we need to replace. Other industry changes that occurred while silver prices languished are also negatively impacted at present and for future supply. What has happened in the last several years is a lot of silver companies have actually bought gold assets because they've realized it's easier to make money in gold, at least at the old prices when silver was $20. Nobody could make money in silver, Smirnova said. So their focus changed to finding gold mines, buying gold mines. And a lot of the miners had actually became more gold mining companies than silver mining companies. Now the major players are being forced to scramble to acquire silver mines. In this calendar year, we've had 3 or 4 merger and acquisition transactions that were now the companies are trying to buy silver deposits and silver mines. And Poland is going to be the place to watch, by the way, for that. There's a shortage of them. There's not many good assets out there. Remember, most of silver is mined as a byproduct of copper, lead, and zinc, etc. So that's what we're looking at here. It's fascinating. The article does go on here, but it is pretty amazing, and I think that likely we're going to see them go up. She's thinking that we could see the next stop at $63 an ounce. And again, I'm recording this video in the overnight trading, and right now silver is flat, but nonetheless, we could see it pull right and blow past 61, or we could see it go back to below 60 by the time you watch this video. So who knows? But nonetheless, there's your report. Very fascinating indeed. I think overall, if it does go down, it'll be temporary because there's just too much that's looking good for silver. Even with what could happen early next year, according to another video I did about what Heraeus had said about it. But by the end of 2026, I think we're going to see silver at the very least up from where it is right now, maybe even considerably up. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Oh, and let me show you the stuff I got in this bag right at the end. I almost forgot. I had on layaway this gold $5 piece here. Still love gold, but buying it much more sparingly these days as I wrap out the end of the year here. But this is a nice 1900. Got this thing for, a little bit above spot, but it's a nice coin. But yes, indeed, a little bit more gold added to the stack here. So there's that. And then also got a nice Roman coin. That's right. A little bit of history. Got to get this. Got this thing for $12. A great deal on it. Very nice. Beautiful. Also put one on layaway too. I'll show you that when I get it paid off. But nice to add a little bit of Roman bronze to the stack here. Finally, I got this. Yes, that's right. This is the other kind of silver dollar that you see, a commemorative. Now, I already have this coin in my collection, but I got this thing for $10 under spot. Nice proof coin. Love the design on this for the Smithsonian. And so $10 under spot. You can't beat that. Indeed, it's basically considered, most of the commemoratives these days are selling for junk silver prices. So I couldn't pass up on that. Still buying a little bit of the silver. And it just goes to show you the market is not going to be kind if you want to sell your constitutional silver or your commemoratives. There you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.